After the decisive victory at Gaugamela, there was no longer a war, there was only a collapse. The once mighty empire of Darius III began to crumble from within, as its armies scattered and its cities stood exposed before the unstoppable advance of Alexander the Great. The first to fall was Babylon, a city unlike any other. Vast walls stretching beyond the horizon, golden temples rising toward the heavens, a symbol of wealth, power, and ancient civilization. But there would be no battle here. As Alexander approached, the gates opened. No resistance, no bloodshed, only silence and surrender. The people welcomed him not as an enemy, but as a new ruler. He entered Babylon not with fire, but with control. From Babylon, the march continued east, toward Susa, the treasury of an empire. Gold, silver, jewels beyond imagination, a lifetime of wealth, gathered over centuries. And once again no battle. Susa surrendered without a fight. Alexander now controlled not just land, but the very wealth that had built Persia itself. But one city still remained. One symbol still stood. The heart of Persia, Persepolis. Unlike Babylon, Persepolis did not welcome him. It stood proud, silent, defiant, a city built not just to be lived in, but to represent the glory of an empire. Massive stone terraces carved into the mountains, towering columns, walls engraved with the legacy of kings. This was the soul of Persia. And Alexander knew it. The Macedonian army advanced. This time, there was resistance. Persian forces attempted to defend what remained of their pride. But it was no longer enough. The empire had already fallen. And Persepolis stood alone. The gates were breached. The city was taken, and for a moment, history stood still. Alexander walked through the halls of kings, through chambers filled with gold, relics, and memories of a dynasty that once ruled the world. Victory was complete, but what came next would define his legacy. Some say it was revenge for what Persia had done to Greece generations before. Others say it was a moment of weakness, a night of celebration. That went too far. But then, the order was given. Fire. Flames began to rise within the palace. At first, small, then unstoppable. Wood cracked, stone glowed. Smoke consumed the sky. The great halls of Persepolis, once filled with kings and glory, were swallowed by fire. Columns collapsed. Statues fell. An empire burned. The night sky turned red. Ash fell like rain, and in that moment, the Persian Empire did not just fall. It ended. Alexander stood before the flames, victorious, unchallenged, but perhaps for the first time. He saw the cost of absolute conquest. Behind him, the greatest empire on earth had turned to ash ahead of him. Only the unknown remained. Because Alexander was not just ending a war. He was rewriting the world. And in the burning ruins of Persepolis, a new era was born, not of Persia, but of Alexander.